Some basic stuff. Rear attacks in Dragon Slayer and other OSR games. But I'm talking about Dragon Slayer because we got some AC creep, and the lower to hit for the creatures really shows its thing when you hit negatives with your party, right? So if you got like AC -2 to -4 on your fighters, and the critters are only getting +1 or +2 to hit with their base attack bonus, then it becomes need natural 20. That becomes a lot. So you have to use the positioning for the creatures just like you do your party members. But one of the things that came up, and I was talking to a friend of mine who's running Dragon Slayer, and it was just something they forgot, I guess. But you don't get Dex and Shield from the rear. Now, it doesn't specifically say you get a +2 to hit from the rear in Dragon Slayer, but it also doesn't say you lose your shield and AC for rear attacks. But that seems like a pretty base idea to me, right? Because if you can't see it coming, you can't dodge it. Simple. So it's going to be like forward arc. No shield, no dex from the rear. That reduces the bloat. If they're flanking, they get an extra +2 to attack. In AD&D, rear attacks also get an extra +2 to hit. So you could make that ruling into your game to where if they're attacked from the rear, no dex, no shield, and the creature gets +2. If you want to go that route. I'm debating if I want to do that. But if they're flanked, they get the +2. But that no dex, no shield, just like being caught flat-footed, right? Surprise round. No dex, no shield, because you're surprised. You're not raising the shield to defend yourself. I also allow the creatures to get a +1 to hit during a surprise round. But yeah, that was on page 70 in the DMG, and I've always told people, use your old AD&D 1E DMG as a source material when in doubt. Because it usually has a rule for everything, covers a lot of stuff, or at least has examples of play where you can read it, right? But yeah, that came up. But the only thing I'm debating is if I just want to give that +2 to rear attacks. Now, when I got to thinking about it, I'm allowing people to face for free for their cleave attacks. So they can just pivot around and start attacking people. But when they end their turn, I got to have a direction for that, for the rear, where their rear is in case someone tries to get behind them. And then I thought, well, I need to extrapolate. If we're going to focus that much on rear attacks and make it a big tactical advantage, then maybe you shouldn't get attacks of opportunity if creatures run behind you. You have to see them to be able to react to them. We've already made that ruling with invisible creatures and blind creatures. If you're blind, you can't get attacks of opportunities. If your opponent's invisible, you don't get attacks of opportunity when they run by. You just don't see them. So it makes you want to pay more attention to your rules, your miniature lots. If you're using miniatures, not theater of the mind, this is something you got to do. I'm just saying. But yeah, I think I'm going to make that ruling. I mean, because they're getting upset because if every shift I let my creatures have all their attacks. All of them. They get their attack routine on attack of opportunity. But if you run behind them, that's taking advantage of the situation in a blind spot. I think I'm going to have to make that ruling. Yeah. They don't get attacks of opportunity to the rear arc unless they got a tail. If a creature's got a tail back there and a way to see behind them, maybe they can flail around at a -4 to hit because they're not looking, right? Whoosh. Little cinematic, little theatrical. But I do prefer to give them all their full attack frames, but their attack routines. But yeah, if you're having AC bloat and your creatures can't hit, remember when they get attacked from the rear, no dex, no shield, maybe a +2 to hit. That's really on you. Make a ruling. Make a note of it. Stick to it. Rationalize it. Maybe I need to talk about some haste stuff here too recently, or I should just focus on some spells because it only doubles your movement and your attacks, but spellcasting is unaffected. That would include wands because you have to be a wizard to use it. So it's like casting a spell, except it can't be interrupted. So it's a big plus. Just some random stuff I noticed at our table game this week. I got a feeling to be some people upset that they don't get their shield index in a 360-degree arc. But makes sense. But if you can run behind stuff, it might soothe that pain. I guess. If ruling's a ruling, it stands, and not all of them you're going to like, right? Anyway, game well, game often. Y'all take care.